Hi, this is Melissa from Wannabe Suburban Homesteader, and tonight I'm going to share with you my recipe for cornbread. It's the same recipe my mom made, and it's so I guess we could say it's been passed down now from one generation to the next. And also, what I'm going to be making tonight, and I won't videotape the whole thing, is that my husband requested that for dinner with the chili, that I make cornbread pancakes instead of just a Johnny cake, like just a pie plate with cornbread in it. So I'm gonna make some cornbread pancakes, and then we will be eating the chili that I canned in May. It's one of the first couple things I canned, that, and I am adding an extra can of black beans to that. I'm currently doing one thing at a time because my stove, I'm saving up to get a new stove, and this one just has one eye that's working, the front one. I have an outdoor like setup that I'm planning to use for canning that is gas. Just a Camp Chef stove, and I was planning to use that to make dinners and stuff on this summer, but it's so hot out there and it rained and everything is wet, so it's covered right now, and I would rather just work inside and do one thing at a time, since this is such an easy meal tonight with just the pancakes and the chili. So let's get started, and the first thing you need for this generational recipe is a box of Jiffy Mix. And basically, I just follow the directions on the Jiffy Mix. This is a vegetarian Jiffy Mix. My daughter is pescatarian, and she does not want to have food that has lard in it. So the regular Jiffy Mix, I believe, has lard. This one has palm oil and soybean oil. So just the Jiffy Mix, and basically what I'm going to be doing is I have 2 boxes in here, 2 boxes of Jiffy Mix in my measuring cup, and I am putting in 2 eggs and 2/3 cup milk. So I want to talk a little bit about why my name is the Wannabe Suburban Homesteader. Basically because I don't know anything, and I'm just starting. We've grown some things before. We've had like a little salsa garden before. I've had raised beds before. But this year we put in 3 8x4 raised beds. And usually we have 3 4x4 raised beds. So I put in those raised beds, and then I dug up some old raised beds that were like little mounds of dirt. And I started a bunch of my own seeds indoors. I had 20 tomato plants that I put outside in May. We did start everything late. We started everything right when the lockdown happened. My daughter is working on her Eagle Scout rank, and she needed to do a project for Family Life Merit Badge, which is one of the required badges for Eagle Scouts. And so we decided that she would repair some of our old raised beds, and then we would make some new raised beds. Now, it wasn't cheap. I had a little bit of money put aside for some other things, buying a new stove, and now we use this for the raised beds. The 4x4 beds that we had, we put. I had a bunch of garlic I needed to put in, so I got that in 2 of the 4x4 beds that I had alongside the house. Now that the garlic has been harvested, we demolished those 2 beds. We raked out all the dirt, and we are building, because there were 3 beds there with spaces between them. So now we built actually a 2 10-foot beds that are just connected with one board. So basically 4 12-inch by 2-inch by 10-foot boards, and then 3 12-inch by 2-inch by 4-foot boards, and we just built them all and connected them. And one of the beds at the end that was just a reclaimed mound of dirt, it had tomatoes in it, so we just basically raked some dirt over the stems of the tomatoes, and when we put in the new soil in the bed, the tomatoes will be fine. So that's what we're working on, and I have things ready to go in it. And I have some cow panel arches that I bought. I put one in, and I can maybe make a video when we finish the bed and get everything planted. So I have things to go in it that I started in July. I started some butternut squash. We live right at the bottom of zone 6, so right, and even some of our area is zone 7. So I started some butternut squash, and that is going to go along the trellis. And then what else did I do? Oh, I started some cauliflower and some Brussels sprouts, and I started some Napa cabbage because I wanted to try and make kimchi. Now the Napa cabbage, only 2 of those seeds actually sprouted, and they actually look pretty good, the plants do. And I'll do maybe a garden tour tomorrow and show you around. A lot of stuff is out of the garden right now, like the onions are out, the beans are almost done. They're still in there, but they're like, I grew them too close together because I didn't know what I was doing. The tomatoes are staked and trellised with a stake, and they are producing, but they're taking forever to turn green. I had a lot of issues with the blossom end rot. I did amend it with some calcium fertilizer stuff, and I'm hoping that that is helpful. Okay, so when I do the pancakes, I do add a little bit of oil to this mix too. And it doesn't say so on the box, but when I was a kid, it did show on the box a recipe for pancakes, to make cornbread pancakes, and it did include some oil. I am using a flat cast iron. It looks like a 10-inch. I've never measured it, and I'm not sure. I do use a lot of cast iron. Like, here are my other cast iron skillets. I just store them up here. Anyway, so I amended the soil. The blossom end rot seems to have gone, seems to have fixed itself. I took off all the tomatoes that were, rotting, and then they started falling over because they were getting heavy with fruit, but they're not turning red. They're still green. So a couple storms came by. The cucumber trellis fell on the tomatoes. I fixed that today. It's still a little bit. Usually when I do pancakes, they're a little bit more runny. So I wonder if I should have added a little bit more water too. But or milk. Add a little water. Now this is too hot. So I don't know if, this is going to be a full-fledged YouTube channel or not, but I'm just planning on having fun with it and posting videos once in a while. It'd be nice to post a video, every week or whenever I do something cool that's related to homesteading. We have 3 kids. They are 15, almost 18, and my oldest son just turned 20. Looks better. Okay, so I might show you this. It's still really hot. I might show you, cooking this. My stove is really dirty. I was planning on getting a new stove in June or July, and I pretty much stopped cleaning it because I was just like, this is leaving the house. I'm just getting rid of it. I'm not going to bother cleaning it. The inside of the oven is dirty. My daughter made something, and a glass dish broke in there, and she just cleaned out the big stuff. She didn't even clean it out. And my oven's not really working that well. I've replaced one of the elements, and it still doesn't work very well. I've replaced elements on the stove, and it's still not working. So I stopped trying to replace the elements. and I've been wanting a gas stove anyway. So part of the expense is saving up for the gas stove, which I'm going to get a nice one. I'd like to get one with the 2 ovens in it. I already picked it out. But also having the gas line run. We have gas in our house with our furnace, so that's not going to be too big of an issue. But to have it, you know, run up here. And then the new stove, I think, takes a 110 outlet, because it does have a fan in the back for like a convection, and it does have a broiler option, I think, to help. So it has like a electric element on top. So I need to have the 220 turn into a 110, and I need to have a gas line run, which shouldn't be a problem. Our basement's unfinished, so they should be able to hook like a flexi line up and turn the 220 into a 110. The other thing is that this fan sucks. It doesn't have a vent. It's just one of those ventless fans that, you know, are above stoves in cheaper houses. So I wanted to get a vent installed. I had someone give me an estimate. They said it'd be another $3,000, and they said they couldn't just run it straight out. My window's over here. They said they couldn't just run it straight out above the window, that it had to actually have a soffit built around the duct, which I don't want to do, because I would like to actually remodel my kitchen in the next couple years. And I don't want to pay $3,000 to have something like that done to it, when I could use that $3,000 for, you know, something else, part of the remodel. So anyway, I'm putting the cornbread pancakes in here to try to keep them warm. So with the cornbread pancakes, because they're thicker, they don't necessarily always bubble like regular pancakes. Like regular pancakes, you know, it starts bubbling on top, and that's when you know how to flip it. And that's, yeah, it's too runny. So tell me, you know, in the comments, tell me. I'm taking a video in the kitchen.
Okay, so?
I'm posting it on YouTube, so don't do anything embarrassing. Don't embarrass yourself.
Okay.
I started a YouTube channel.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah. I'm making chili and cornbread. Dad wanted cornbread pancakes, though.
What is your YouTube channel about?
It's called Wannabe Suburban Homesteader. It's about gardening and canning and stuff. Anyway, in the comments, tell me who you guys have been watching. You know, what other YouTube channels you've been watching. Some of them I watch kind of for fun, and it's kind of like I don't really do what they do, but it's fun to watch. And then some of them like are really educational, and I've learned a lot. So I've watched a lot of old videos from Guildbrook Farms, the old canning videos and stuff before they moved and started building their house. Are you making pizza rolls?
Yes, I'm hungry.
I'm making chili and cornbread.
Good for you.
There, you can get in the microwave now. I can't edit videos. I burnt this one.
Why can't you edit?
I don't know how to edit them.
Get an editor. That's a real one. Just look it up.
No, I'm not going to edit you out. You're going to stay in it.
Good for you.
So I turn the stove down a little bit more. Sometimes this eye doesn't even stay on. Like it gets hot and then it like cools off, and I don't even realize that it's off until things stop cooking. Which is why I can't can on this. I did a little bit and I was real careful, but then it worked several times. But then now, that's why I bought the Camp Chef for outside. I have ADHD. I don't remember what I was talking about. Getting a new stove. Remodeling the kitchen, maybe someday. Our oldest son is handicapped, and we remodeled a downstairs bathroom this year. We turned it into a shower room. It was a half bath, so it just had a toilet and a sink, vanity, and we turned it into a full, well, I guess it'd be 3/4 bath, because it's just all tile with a drain on the floor, and the toilet is actually attached to the wall. And oh, that one's broke too. The toilet's attached to the wall, and we have a shower next to the toilet, and I just can sit my son on the toilet and shower him, or I can just lure him in there with cookies, and he'll be sitting on the floor, eating cookies, and I will give him a shower on the floor of the shower. So that was a big expense, and our next plan was to remodel the deck. So we're saving up some money for that too, and the bathroom we got a loan for, and we have a little bit of money left over for that. And the deck right now, it was a 2-tiered deck, and I'll show you when I do the garden tour tomorrow. Or I don't know if I'll post it tomorrow, but I'll try to get it tomorrow, because tomorrow it's supposed to be nicer out. It's been rainy out the last couple days. We had a 2-tiered deck, and the top part is 8 foot by 4.5 feet, and there's really not room out there. Right now I have a Weber grill with it's in a stand, so that takes up a big amount of space, and then I have a 3-burner Camp Chef stove, so that's taking up a lot of space. And then I have a hole in the floor of the deck where years and years and years ago I was grilling out there with a little tiny charcoal grill, and I thought it was died out, and I was about to go to bed, and I looked out there, and there was glowing underneath the grill, and so I sprayed it down with water and saved the deck and the house from a fire. But there is a hole in the deck, but it's covered up with the stove right now, so no one's falling down it. It's only about 6 or 8 inches wide. Anyway, so we were going to remodel the deck, make the top part a lot bigger, so we can get our son out there in his wheelchair, and he can go out in his wheelchair and hang out, and we can maybe put up a little canopy. I bought a solar sail type thing to put up out there to provide some shade. In the morning it's really it's nice out there for a little bit, and then it gets really, really hot, so it's hard for me to go out there and do canning or do anything because it's just so hot, and it would be nice to have a little bit of shade. So the plan is to make the top deck bigger. The bottom deck we had already mostly torn apart, and the bottom deck we're going to turn into it's going to be a patio, not a deck. We never used the bottom deck. It was just so big, and the previous homeowners had built the bottom deck, and it probably looked really nice when they built it, but you could tell after a while that they didn't use the right screws on it. They didn't use the right boards on it. The boards were not on it correctly, so we ripped it apart. The kids used it when they were younger for we had a big trampoline on it when they were little. We tried to put one of those easy swimming pools with the inflatable ring around the top. We had one of those up one summer, but it was hard to keep clean. Anyway, I'm looking forward to having a bigger deck up top, so I can go right out here, straight out the door, hang out there, have more room for having some friends over when no one has COVID anymore. Miles, what's wrong with Dylan? You're messing with him? You're teasing him? So these cornbread pancakes aren't turning out as well as they usually do. They are getting quite dark before they get done in the middle. That's not, I don't typically have that problem. So my daughter is not going to eat this chili. I actually made her some vegetarian chili in pints. And so I will open these 2 quarts for Mark and my 2 boys and myself. And we'll have a little bit of leftover because I will add a can. It has beans in it. And I will add an extra can of black beans to it too. And then I will have some leftover for tomorrow for lunch for me or for somebody. Cornbread will probably be gone though. So this is how you make my mom's famous cornbread. Except she probably wouldn't do it this way. But we did make cornbread pancakes when we were younger. I have before mixed up this cornbread mix and put it in the waffle maker. It makes awesome waffles, but they're super heavy. Like probably half a waffle, like you feel like you just had Thanksgiving dinner after eating half a waffle. It's a big waffle maker. It's not a little mini one. I probably should get like a little mini dash waffle maker and try cornbread in that. Be a little bit more even. That would actually be a good idea. Instead of cornbread pancakes like this, I could get a mini dash waffle maker. You put a little bit in it, and just have little, tiny little English muffin size waffles would be great. So there were some more glass lids on eBay that I bought. There were 11 of them, and then it had some other stuff with it I didn't need. I didn't need more rings, but it had 2 rings. They're really dirty, so it looks like someone hadn't had them for a while, or they just found them in their grandma's basement or barn. They were like $7.50 for 11 of them. So I bought them. Shipping was like $9, and they came in the mail yesterday. And they weren't packed right. I made a video. I'm not sure. I might throw it up here too. I just didn't know how many videos about canning lids everybody wanted to see. But they were packed. The person had packed them all in a Ziploc bag and then wrapped the Ziploc bag in like a bunch of newspaper and taped it up. And then wrapped that in bubble wrap, like thick bubble wrap, and then put that in a box. And it would have been secure, except that I think when you package things that are glass, if they're touching each other and they get jumbled around at all, they're going to crack. So out of 11 jar lids, 3 of them look usable. And the rest of them don't even look like they can be used for like an art project. I saw on eBay, someone was making stained glass daisies with like a ball canning lid in the middle, and then like stained glass petals around the outside. And I thought about contacting them and asking them if they wanted to either purchase or pay for shipping for all the lids that have chips or cracks and won't seal. So that way, they're not just going in my garbage. They're going somewhere that someone might use them. And also might keep them from buying up good canning lids and using them in their art if they have some that are chipped. A little chipped, barely chipped, but not sealable. I'll show you my bowl of eggshells. This is what I was doing before I had bought the soil amendment for to add calcium to the soil for the blossom and rot. I was saving eggshells and heating them up, crushing them up, and trying to get them down in the soil, but I think that was taking too long to break down, so it wasn't helping. I might not have been crushing them up small enough. They probably need to be like powder fine, and I was just kind of like crunching them a little bit. So I'm going to get my chili ready. This is, I have a couple, no, this is my only licorice I have one Le Creuset pot, and it has a lid somewhere. And the lid is actually like a mini skillet. I was so excited when I got this. It is like really stained on the inside. I'm not sure if I feel like it's any better than the other ceramic, cast iron ceramic stuff that I own that are these other brands. I have like a cheap one I bought here that's like Rachel Ray. I got it at like JCPenney or something, or Kohl's. I got it at Kohl's for like 40 bucks. And I just use that to like roast a chicken and sweet potatoes and onions and stuff in. And I've had one that was like a Cuisinart, an oval one. I don't have that one anymore. It got broken. And I should have used it for something else. Anyway, I'm not sure that the Le Creuset is any better. It doesn't, I mean, it has some chips in the bottom. It's completely stained. Like, it's all cracked. Like the enamel is like, looks cracked up a little bit, you know, like the way it looks. Now I don't think it's hot enough. Nope, it's hot enough. Okay, I'll do the chili in just a second. One thing with cornbread pancakes, and any pancakes, you know, don't put it into, don't try to make one big pancake because it won't work. It'll just be gross in the middle. So here's my chili. Oh, I already put it out here. Just a regular can opener, nothing fancy. Made this on May 3rd of this year. Throw that away. I might start using you know, canning lids over if I feel there's a need to, but right now I don't really need to, and I don't have a good way to open them where it doesn't bend them. They always get bent. Just wipe some of this dry stuff off. I don't know if I should or if it matters or not, but tell me if you think it matters. Should I wipe the dry stuff off in the lid when I open it, or does it not matter? So every time we use canning jars to drink out of. We have for like a long time, even before I started canning. So sometimes they're getting mixed up. I tried to buy the smooth-sided quarts, so that way I could tell which ones were canning and which ones, you know, were the drinking jars. But it was really hard to find them after the first couple cases I bought. It was hard to find them at any of the stores. They did have the regular ones then, just not the smooth-sided ones anymore. They were out all the time. And I did start with getting all wide mouth. But then after seeing how regular mouth glass lids were cheaper and more readily available, I did buy some regular mouth glass lids, and I have, I'm going to start buying some regular mouth glass jars to put stuff in, like maybe tomato soup or maybe things that don't need, you know, the wide mouth. I just thought it'd be easier to clean out the wide mouth. I have thick hands. Okay, so the chili is all in here. I have a couple more pancakes yet to do. Hopefully I will make a couple that are not burnt. That's what I get for talking. Okay, and I was going to also open up this can of black beans, and I did this in April. Hear it? That one's a pretty good seal. And I do strain these. Every everything falling out of my cupboard when I try to get the strainer out. Okay, so I might not have enough room in here actually. Whoa, the pancake. See, I got distracted again. Shit. Maybe I'll make one good pancake. This one is also really dark. I think I have enough batter for 1 or 2 more pancakes. Shoot. Okay, I'm gonna stir up the chili. The chili just needs heated. You know, it just needs heated and bubbling a little bit. I will get some cheddar cheese and some sour cream out. And that's how we will finish it. If I had some cilantro, that would be awesome. I would put some cilantro on it. What I'll do is I'll turn these upside down on the kids' plates so they don't see them, but they're burnt. Okay, one more. Let's see. So our oldest son, he was born with hydrocephalus. We knew before he was born. I found out at 28 weeks. And he's kind of like a 3-year-old. You might hear him make noise in the background when you're watching videos. It's because he's back there humming and watching Sesame Street, having a good time. So my daughter tried to make a sourdough starter. I did buy her some yeast. She started it in one of my half-gallon jars, and I tried to put one of the fermentation lids on it that I bought, the silicone ones that had like a little nipple on top, and it wasn't like releasing the gas well. So she took it off and put a cheesecloth on top with a hairband. She cut off all my hair, so I don't need any hairbands right now. And I have a video I took, like a, what's it called? Like when you, time-lapse video. I took a time-lapse video of it like rising and going down, and me messing with it a little bit. So I will, I think I'll post that too. I forgot about that. I've taken lots of videos of time-lapse videos of us working on this side garden, the big one, the 10 by 20, and I will definitely post videos on that. I just don't know how to put them all together into one. I can post each one separately. So I'll post a video of us tearing apart the old garden and raking out the dirt, and then I'll post one of us, you know, building the bed, and then I forgot to take one. I put one of the arches up yesterday, and I meant to take a short video of me doing that. So we are going to lay a bunch of cardboard down in the bottom and then put the soil on top of it. And we didn't do that in the back, and they're fine because we put the ones in the back, the 8-foot gardens, we put those on top of grass. So because we put those on top of grass, there's not as many weeds coming up. But the gardens to the side of the house, the 4-foot beds, they, you know, had been neglected and had a bunch of weeds in them from the previous, we didn't grow anything last year. So they've been neglected. They have lots of weeds in them and had some pretty big roots that I pulled out. And we you know, weeded it really well when we planted the garlic in there, and I tried to keep it weeded when the garlic was in there, but the weeds came up so much quicker in those beds than it did in the new beds. So since the dirt that we raked out probably has a lot of weed seed in it, I do want to go ahead and put a really thick layer of cardboard down before we put the dirt in. I do have the load of dirt. It's in my driveway. I'll send you a picture when I do like the garden tour. I'll be walking all around my house and maybe sharing with you some of the ideas I had for other things I want to do around the house. We've been here since 2006. So it's like we've been here a while. We haven't done a whole lot of stuff. We've just been raising little kids and busy with the kids and the kids' activities. And since I'm not driving everywhere to activities all the time, I've just been home, and I've been probably the most productive I've been the whole time I've had kids. I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos. That's not always productive, but that's learning. That's, you know, learning how to do things. You know, would we like to have a, you know, more of a rural farm sometime, or, you know, more of a true homesteading place sometime? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of whatever's in the cards. This house has been good to us. You know, we've been here a long time. I like our neighborhood a lot. It's a really diverse neighborhood. So my kids grew up around, you know, different types of people and different backgrounds and everything. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to heat this up, and then we are going to eat dinner. And I will, you know, take a picture of it with the cheese and sour cream on top and make it look fancy on my dirty countertop. And I'll see if I can share that somehow. I think there's a way to post a video, a still video, not a video, a still shot for the opening of the video. So we'll see. I really don't know what I'm doing. And if you have any suggestions, like if you have any, you know, if you guys follow anybody who like talks about how to start a YouTube channel, or just how to, you know, make videos, stuff like that. Oh, I also follow 5 to Love. They're pretty fun. I like watching the kids. I like Vivian. She's my favorite, Vivi. And she's been my favorite since the beginning. And I don't know why, but well, I don't know. She just seemed like she started talking earlier, and she was saying words earlier, and I thought it was just she was so cute. They're all really cute kids, and it's a really cool family. Okay, so I'm gonna end this video here because you know, this is pretty boring, and let you guys comment anything you want to educate me about. I am open to having constructive criticism of whatever. Just be nice about it, and I'm not going to be offended. I mean, you can see, I mean, I'm wearing a dirty shirt. I've been a human napkin since 2000. That's what I call it. Okay, have a nice night.